Ladies and gentlemen, our next session is Brexit and what it means for the world. Please welcome Breitbart's Raheem Kassam.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't CPAC absolutely bloody fantastic? I've got to tell you, this is somewhat of a nerd dream of mine. I've been coming to CPAC now for 8 years, and I've wanted to stand here and wax lyrical for a very long time. But you have a better speaker, so I will keep this brief. My name is Raheem Kassam. I'm the editor-in-chief of Breitbart's London Bureau. And I was born in West London into a Muslim family. And I am now proud to say that I am a conservative. I am a proud Englishman. And I am a robust Americophile. But sometimes when people meet me, they ask me, "Oh, Raheem, that's a Muslim name. Do you make the Hajj? Do you do the pilgrimage?" And I say, "Yeah, I make the pilgrimage every year to the Gaylord National Convention Center." To be amongst people like you, the people who have made such a massive difference. You have changed the world, ladies and gentlemen. But there is a lot of the world that still needs changing. You know, I was in Sweden last week. Sweden! You heard of Sweden, right? You heard a lot about Sweden in the past few days. Absolutely extraordinary. I want to talk to the back of the room for a second, the media at the back of the room for a second. You can do better than that, come on. Yeah. Look, I was in Malmo, I was in Husby, I was in Rosengard, I was in Stockholm, I was in these no-go zones. And actually, if you want a little bit more about that, if you go down to the Regnery stand downstairs, I've got a book coming out on it. And I was there in these no-go zones, and I came back, and we were talking about Sweden, and Donald Trump's talking about Sweden. And I was in Paris too, and I was in Brussels and Molenbeek too. And you guys at the back, you just don't get it. You don't go there. You don't see what's going on. Get your heads out of your rears. I'm sorry, they're not all like that. But I'm here to introduce a man today who really changed my life in a very significant way, who changed my country in a very significant way, and I would argue, changed the world in a very significant way. You know, last year we had Brexit. That's too big. I'm too big up there. I don't like that. Last year we had Brexit, and Brexit was spearheaded by a man who loves his country, who wants an end to uncontrolled mass migration, who wants our secure borders, and who wants us to be a proud sovereign nation again. I used to work for that man. He is a member of the European Parliament. He worked tirelessly, traveled up and down the country, sometimes speaking to rooms of 3 or 4 people at the beginning of his career, just to have his message heard. 20 years ago, this movement started. He's been a mentor to me, he's been a friend to so many of us, and he's also been really a father figure to so many of us. He has survived cancer. He has survived a car crash. He has survived a plane crash. He has survived the BBC, CNN, the establishment, the European Parliament. And he's also a very demanding man. He's a man who, when I worked for him, would be just like Donald Trump, just like President Trump, would call at the most inopportune time. Hold on a minute. Yes, Nigel, I'm nearly done. I'm nearly done. Thank you. Yes, yes. Sorry, Mr. Brexit. Mr. Brexit. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Brexit, Nigel Farage, my good friend. Please welcome him to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. 2016, we did it. We did it. Thank you. And I'm very honored to be here today. I'm delighted and thrilled that CPAC invited me. Me, a foreigner, in your country. But you know, it's a funny thing. Since November the 8th, since the election of Donald J. Trump, every time I come to America, I'm feeling a little bit more American, I have to tell you. When, in years to come, the generations that follow us study the history of this period, there is one year that will stand out. There is one year that every school child will know. And that year is the year of 2016. Because in 2016, we witnessed the beginning of a global political revolution, and it's one that is not going to stop. It's one that is going to roll out across the rest of the free world. I had been fighting against Britain's membership of the European Union for 25 years. 25 years. And if you've endured abuse, if you've been called deplorable, you've only had a few months of being abused. I've had 20 years of it. But you know what? None of it mattered. I always believed that we should govern our own country. I always believed we should be free to reach out and make our own deals with our real friends in the world. And it's funny, our real friends in the world speak English, have common law, and stand by us in times of crisis. So I battled away for all those years. I thought I might become the patron saint of lost causes. And then the referendum came along, and we were told by vast sections of the media that we couldn't do it. We were told by many of the pollsters we couldn't do it. We were told by many of the commentators. Any of this ring familiar with you guys? We were told by the commentators that we couldn't do it, and they lined up all the big businesses, all the big banks, all the big politics, not just from Britain, but from across the world. Do you know we even had a visit from the 44th President of the United States of America? I will, to my dying day, be grateful that President Obama came to my country, intervened in the referendum, and told the United Kingdom's people, told America's greatest friend and ally in the world, and told us that if we voted to get our independence, we would go to the back of the line. And the British people were so disgusted by Obama treating us like this that it put us up 2% in the polls. So I shall always be grateful to Obama. So the great day came, 23rd of June, 2016, and by 3 o'clock in the morning, it was clear that after a period of just after 4 decades in which our politically corrupt rulers had given away our independence, our democracy, our sovereignty, the ability to make our own laws, the ability to choose our own friends, the ability to make the right trade deals with the right countries. Oh, and they'd also given away control of our borders. And by 3 o'clock in the morning of June the 24th, it was clear the nightmare had come to an end. We had voted to get our country back. And I can't tell you how thrilled and pleased that I'd felt. It seemed incredible that people had the courage to stand up against the entire establishment, but the brave British people did it. Oh, and by the way, the last opinion poll says that now 68% of the British people want us to get on with Brexit. And then a funny thing happened. I went to the Republican convention in Cleveland, and I realized that amongst the Republican activists and amongst a large chunk of the American people, there was something approaching Brexit mania. And I got the opportunity, through my friends in Mississippi, through the governor and that audience, that what we'd done in Brexit was what you too could do here in America. And I told that audience, don't listen to the pollsters, don't listen to the media, don't listen to the commentators. They're trying to break your will. They're trying to make you stay at home. Don't listen to any of them. And I said, we got our country back on June 23rd, and you can get yours back too on November the 8th. And you know what? I am pleased and proud that I did that in Mississippi and that I came to America many times in that campaign to give Donald Trump support. I'm proud to have been part of that campaign. I really am. And what I'm seeing 36 days in to the Trump presidency, I'm seeing something quite remarkable. I'm seeing an elected leader who is trying to put in place the platform on which he was elected. How about that? Because we've had years, haven't we, of people making promises, getting into power, and not even attempting to put into place the things upon which they've been elected. And I believe that Trump, who is determined, and we saw him this morning, didn't we? And wasn't he just superb? No, what Trump is doing by trying to put in place that ticket on which he was elected, he is restoring faith in the democratic process, and good for him. Good for him. 2016 was the year that the nation-state democracy made a comeback against the globalists and those who would wish to destroy everything that we have ever been. But of course, Trump, amazing personality that he is, could not have done it on his own. He had some good people behind him. He had people like Steve Bannon, Kellyanne Conway, and many others. But he also had every single one of you, and this event is your celebration. Well done to all of you. Now, great though the night of June 23rd was, great though the night of November the 8th was, my favourite part of 2016 wasn't so much the victories, no. My favourite part of that evening of November the 8th was watching the faces of the CNN presenters. And you know what? They haven't given up, have they? They are in deep denial. They would like to wind the clock back to 2015 to pretend that none of this had ever happened. But just as Brexit becomes more popular by the day, President Trump will become more popular in America by the day. No, they won't give up, and some of their biggest cheerleaders, I'm thinking of Tony Blair in particular. Oh, wow. So he's popular here too, is he? Fine, good. I think of people like Tony Blair, who says that 2016 was just a blip. 2016 was an aberration. 2016 was just an outpouring of anger from very poorly educated, stupid, virtually unwashed people. That's what Blair thinks. But Tony Blair is wrong. He's wrong because what happened in 2016 is not the end of this great global revolution. What happened in 2016 is the beginning of a great global revolution. And this will roll out across the rest of the West. We've got some very exciting elections coming up in the Netherlands, in France, in Germany, possibly even in Italy. And believe me, I don't yet know whether the results in 2017 will be as dramatic as the results in 2016. But what I do know is that even if the challengers don't get over the line in this year, what they will do is shift the center of gravity of the entire debate. Because what is happening across Europe is people are rejecting this form of supranational government. They're rejecting the idea of being governed by a bunch of unelected old men in Brussels. Although I'm very grateful to these unelected old men because I've had some real sport with them in the European Parliament over the last couple of years. And they're rejecting the absolute madness and idiocy of what Angela Merkel did 18 months ago when she opened up her doors. And we've got to be clear, we're not against anybody based on religion or ethnicity. We're not against anybody, but we're for ourselves. We're for our country. We're for our communities. We're for making our people safe and with less risk from global terror. That is what we're for. That is what we're for. And we're for our country. And we're for our people. And we are winning! Thank you. Thank you. You're winning.
And now, here from Nashville, four-time Grammy Award-winning hit songwriter, Josh Keir.
How y'all doing? Seems like you've had a fun day so far. Busy day. So I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I am a professional songwriter. So I'm gonna start by doing what I do best. I'm gonna play you some music. Incidentally, these are songs I wrote. Otherwise, this first one in particular would be a very odd cover tune. Right now, he's probably slow dancing with a bleach blonde tramp, and she's probably getting frisky. Right now, he's probably buying her some fruity little drink, 'cause she can't shoot a whiskey. Right now, he's probably up behind her with a pool stick, showing her how to shoot a combo. And he don't know. I dug my key into the side of his pretty little souped-up four-wheel drive, carved my name into his leather seat. I took a Louisville Slugger to both headlights, slashed a hole in all four tires. Maybe next time he'll think before he cheats. Picture perfect memories scattered all around the floor. Reaching for the phone 'cause I can't fight it anymore. And I wonder if I ever cross your mind. For me it happens all the time. It's 1:15, I'm all alone and I need you now. I said I wouldn't call, but lost all control and I need you now. And I don't know how I can do without, I just need you now. I just need you now. Oh, baby, I need you now. Thank you very much. Many of you are probably wondering why I'm even on stage here today. I have no interest in running for political office, and I have no background in politics or government. What I do have is 21 years of expertise in the music industry. And I want to talk to you today about how outdated government regulations are creating challenges for American songwriters. You've probably never heard the name Josh Keir before today, unless you're a diehard country music fan or you happen to be my mother. I'm perfectly content with that. Most professional songwriters I know happily create in the shadows of the spotlight. I wrote my first song at 13 years old because I had a crush on a girl next to me in an English class. I got my first publishing deal at 21, wrote thousands of songs, and became what in Nashville we like to call a 10-year overnight success. My first #1 hit was Carrie Underwood's Before He Cheats, which I just played. Thanks. And that brought me my first Grammy Award. Thanks. My second #1 was Need You Now with Lady Antebellum, and I've been extremely fortunate that my hard work has paid off so far in 11 #1 hit songs. Things like Highway Don't Care by Tim McGraw and Taylor Swift, and Drunk on a Plane by Dierks Bentley. But I may be a prime example of the end of a golden era of American songwriters. That's because songwriters are some of the most heavily regulated small business owners in the country. I say small business owners because while we may have publishers, all songwriters are self-employed. And yet, the heavy hand of government effectively sets the rates for 75% of the income that songwriters can receive. The problem is these government regulations haven't kept pace with big changes in the music industry, and that's making it harder and harder to make a living as a professional songwriter. Imagine a private property owner being told they can't negotiate terms in the free market because the government is setting those terms instead. It's the very definition of government overreach. Thanks. You have to realize that songwriters are not the same as the artists that record our songs. There's no concert revenues, no t-shirt sales, no endorsement deals. We license our music through performing rights organizations, or PROs. And then we count on the royalties that come in when our songs are played or purchased to make a living and support our families. It used to be that you could make a decent living as a writer on the sales of albums or CDs, but these are relics of the past. We don't buy music anymore, we rent it. Today, everyone is streaming music, including me. But the laws that govern how songwriters are paid by streaming companies haven't kept up with that shift. And because of that, on average, it now takes about 1 million streams of a song on the top streaming services for a songwriter to earn just $125. If that sounds crazy, that's because it is. For instance, Need You Now was streamed 72 million times the year it became a hit. And as one of the 4 co-writers, because I wrote it with Lady Antebellum, I was paid $1,500. That's how much I made from streaming revenue on a song that went to #2 on the pop charts, spent 14 weeks at #1 on the adult contemporary charts, and won the Grammy for Best Overall Song of the Year. Now imagine what it's like out there for songwriters who don't have a huge hit on their hands. And that's why we need your help. In this country, the people who create books, TV, art, video games, you name it, they all get to sell their creative works in the free market, but not music creators. Because right now, the 2 largest PROs representing songwriters, ASCAP and BMI, operate under some of the oldest consent decrees that exist today. These laws were written in 1941 and haven't been updated since 2001, which is way before streaming took off and even before the iPod hit stores. So I'm here today because I believe American songwriters, composers, and publishers deserve to be paid fair market value for the use of our property, just like any other small business owner is for the use of their products. Music has been one of the hallmarks of American creative genius throughout our history. Stephen Foster, Tin Pan Alley, the Brill Building hits of the 1950s, straight through to the music that's pouring out of stereo speakers across the globe today. Our songs have always marked our country as the world leader in popular music. But our work as songwriters will continue to be undervalued until the government removes itself from our business process, gives songwriters more flexibility to negotiate, and lets the free market do its job. The future of American songwriters truly depends on it. Thank you all for your time.